This is a 1999 36-foot diesel pusher Country Coach Motorhome. It has the 8.3 Cummins engine, which rated at 350 horse from the factory. Uh, we bought it in 2019 from a widow. Her and her husband had traveled extensively in it, and they had taken very good care of it. And you can see here, we've been driving around. We drove across America here, at the top of America. We actually took the ferry over from across Lake Michigan, is what we did this summer. And we have all the records from this thing, from the original owners. There was two owners before us. So there's the receipts, everything written down, all the maintenance, all the money they spent on fixing and doing everything. And of course, we still have the original manuals that came with the thing, instructions for everything. There's a shot of the inside with the slide out. There's the inside with the slide out. Then we have a couple pictures here of the inside with the slide in. And you can see it's still very functional. You can use the refrigerator, cook any meals, sit down and eat, do anything you want to do, because it's kind of a bother to have to put the slide out just to get through the motorhome. We also realized that we needed a residential refrigerator. The original one was 20 years old, and everybody said the big thing nowadays is to have a residential refrigerator. So what we did was we got this Samsung RF-18, and we put it in place of this old, I think it was a Dometic refrigerator. Then we also realized that we wanted to update the cooking thing to an induction cooker. They seem to be much more efficient, and they don't have that hydrocarbon gas emission in your thing, or whatever that's called. So then you wonder, well, how do we run the refrigerator and all this stuff that we have? Well, we have 1,730 watts of solar on the roof, and there's a couple of shots of the panels. So this keeps everything charged. And when I say everything, I mean we have 4 SOK 206 amp hour batteries in there. And they, of course, feed into the Victron Multi Plus 3000 inverter. But of course, the purpose of this video actually is to show you the mechanical side of some of this stuff. You could have all the solar panels you want, the inverters and everything. But if the thing doesn't run, if there's mechanical problems, that's where you're going to get yourself into trouble, because you're going to break down on the side of the road. So what I'm really trying to show you, and I'm going to show you now, is all the mechanical. This thing was gone over from stem to stern. Every piece examined, every hose, every wire was investigated, and we did all this changing on things. Number one, we changed all the airbags. That's normal. The airbags were 20-some years old. We put all new airbags on. There was a front wheel seal leaking on the driver's side, I think. There's hub oil in those seals. So I put in high-quality, expensive seals on all 4 axles, front, rear. And that's a shot of the rear. There's new air dryer. That's the bottom of the new air dryer going in. I cleaned up all the suspension, checked everything out. Kingpins are fine. That's the access to the engine, which is very good on this motorhome. Some are a real problem. Now that's the old propane tank that's we took out of the bay. And there's the bay now, which it sure gave us a lot more room. And I decided, because the fuel tank is right there, that I would put this fast fuel system in right at the tank. So it's sucking the fuel right, 2 feet away from it. And I put the DAFCO filter on, and that's a shot of the DAFCO filter. And then, of course, there's it's supposed to be one of the best filters, and it takes air bubbles out of the fuel. And that's a huge one, because the injection pump does not need or want air bubbles in there. And that's the fast fuel system. It has the 2 filters on. And there's still a filter in the back of the motorhome, way in the back. There is another filter there. And so that's the filter in the back. You can see there's an electrical connector for a pressure gauge, and you can read the pressure on the dash as you're driving. Now I'm going to mention something else. Here's some shots of the slide-out water feed. This is when you have a sink or a water-using appliance in the slide-out. And as you can see, they're toast. I mean, it's 20 years old. All those hoses are kinked. They're all no good. They all have to be replaced. And you have to take all the old hoses and lines out. You have to access everything, and you have to get in there and replace all that stuff and make it right. And so this, of course, is what I did. So just to tell you, if you're looking at a motorhome that's 20 years old or so, guaranteed that you're going to have all these problems. Now, of course, we did put new tires on it. The tire date codes are 2021 on that. And as you can see, tires are really like brand new, plenty of tread on them. They run good. We keep the proper pressure in them. And we actually upsized these tires slightly from what came on originally. So we got the diesel heater because we took out the propane tank, and so now we heat the coach and heat the hot water with diesel, and that's all brand new and it works. And of course, I wanted to fix the lights on the motorhome. I felt these lights are absolutely ridiculous on some of these motorhomes. They don't light up enough. You see the lights flashing down the side? I put those on there. They weren't on there. You had nothing on the side. People in the next lane over, they don't know if you're changing lanes or not. I installed all these extra lights. So now the thing lights up. My wife said that when she changes lanes, bam-o, people let her over because you can see it. Now, the brake lights, see those little flashing brake lights that flash and then stop? Those are on the newer cars. That's what they do on the newer cars. Flashing lights gets your attention. Now, here is something special I put on because I was worried if this thing broke down on the side of the road or if I ran into a situation where everybody all of a sudden stopped on the freeway, I was going to get clobbered in the rear end by a truck. So what I did was I put those on.